when you come to LSU, you want to be elite. You want to recruit elite players, and you want to be coached by elite. And the development that our coaching staff has done with these young men has been a great accomplishment.
Just going out there and just leaving everything out on the field.
You know, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time.
If everybody does their 111, everybody kind of does their job. Every game's a big game. We just got to be the best we can be.
I mean, we know what type of game this is, and I mean, this is why you play SEC football.
Hello, Tiger fans. I'm Emily Dixon, and you're watching Inside LSU Football, presented by Community Coffee. In this week's episode, we get you caught up on all of the highlights and Coach O's thoughts from the game in Tuscaloosa. We dive into the film room with one of the nation's best linebackers, and we give you a behind-the-scenes look of our control room on game days. Settle in, Tiger fans. This is Inside LSU Football, presented by Community Coffee.
Inside LSU Football, presented by Community Coffee, is brought to you each week by the 8 partners that represent Team LSU. Cox, the official communications provider of LSU Athletics. McDonald's, official sponsor of the LSU Tigers. Our Lady of the Lake, official healthcare provider of LSU Athletics. Planet Fitness, official gym partner of the LSU Tigers. Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of LSU Athletics. Hancock Whitney, the official bank of the LSU Tigers. People's Health, the official health plan of LSU Athletics. And by Coca-Cola, official beverage partner of the LSU Tigers. This segment of Inside LSU Football is brought to you each week by Bud Light.
When you're sitting in the stands watching the Tigers play, your eyes go from the field to the video boards. From replays to features and even dance-offs among fans, there's always something worth keeping an eye on. So how does the whole show get put together? We head into the control room to give fans a look on how content is produced on game days.
My name's Luciano. I'm the Director of Broadcast Operations, Live Events, Video Boards. It's an amazing thing to know that we have a centralized broadcast live events area with 5 control rooms to accommodate all of the venues that we have. Our in-venue group, we will average every year 130, 135 productions. Our network group will do SEC network productions between our digital tiers and our broadcast events. They'll do about 110. Our day usually starts, we start putting out cameras a day ahead of time. 5 cameras that are typically used in a production. Sometimes we'll introduce more. My crew comes in on game day. Our official call time is 3 hours prior, but we'll go over any of the special things that we'll need to cover pre-game, recognitions, and then some of the special things that we know, players who are about to hit a benchmark, career stat and all stuff. We want to make sure that we're looking out for that and that we're ready at a moment's notice to get that covered. A group of about 7 or 8 people that will be in the control room. Everyone has different roles. I will act as the director and technical director, and I'm sitting behind the switcher and looking at all the cameras and all the different sources that we have to make the show go, and we'll kind of determine the flow. We have 2 graphics operators that will, load in graphics to key in that. On top of that, we have another clip operator, graphics operator that handles a lot of our marketing efforts, and they'll roll a lot of the videos and they'll roll a lot of the PA boards, and so working in conjunction with that. We have 2 replay operators. We try to show a replay just about every play that we can. We know that the replays are a valid part, and that's why people want to see exactly what's happening, and we want to try to show it at angles that they wouldn't otherwise see, and that just helps out with where our camera positions are. The Tiger Band coming onto the field on top of just the normal emotion that the band itself evokes and all that stuff. It's a great bonding moment, and it just sort of, lots of times it sets the tone for, we're going to have a good game. We just have a good time with it. we're fans with what I think are some of the coolest seats because we get to see the multiple angles and we can go back and really take a look at it. I mean, that big, you take any big play, you take the whole big win, and this room erupts about as loud as what anything that you would have with a group of 8 people in Tiger Stadium. I mean, everyone in here, we're first and foremost fans, and we just, happen to be lucky to be part of this whole experience.
You need more layers, diagonal layers.
I got it, Ron. Thanks.
Leave him alone, Dad. Oh, honey, you should use ice blocks instead of cubes.
No, Bud Light Seltzer goes on top.
Diagonal layers.
Did you pre-chill the Bud Light lemonades?
Need more ice. And diagonal layers.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I don't need my hands getting cold.
Why don't you try using a Plumsky method? Brings out the citrus notes. Dad?
Gotta crush the ice, son.
Okay, I'm out.
What's his problem?
Whenever packing the cooler really matters, there's a Bud Light there.
Mommy, guess what? We win.
Hi, that's fake, mi amor. Ice cream?
Yeah!
Okay. Protect your connected devices with advanced security included with Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi.
The difference is putting in the extra work to get better.
The difference is spending the extra hours to get it right.
The difference is fighting for the extra yard to get the win.
At Dudley DeBosier, we're proud of all the student athletes who give that extra something that makes them Tigers.
If you've been injured, we're ready to go the extra yard for you.
That's the Dudley DeBosier difference. Demand Dudley DeBosier, official partner of LSU Athletics.
444-4444.
As humankind faces its most critical challenges yet, the world demands leaders, and LSU is taking up the charge. The research we do here goes everywhere to protect communities threatened by climate change, so you can live your life with fewer worries about tomorrow. We're formulating a better way for everyone, because at LSU, our calling is humanity.
LSU Tigers fans, show your pride with real Tigers gear from the official online store, lsushop.net. You'll find everything a Tigers fan needs, including jerseys, sideline gear, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more. With an awesome selection of over 4,100 products, including official team merchandise from Nike, when it comes to Tigers pride, there's only one place real Tigers fans go, lsushop.net.
This segment of Inside LSU Football is brought to you each week by Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health, one of Louisiana's largest pediatric healthcare networks.
We've taken you into the control room, and now it's time to head to the film room. Going into the bye week, LSU linebacker Damone Clark led the entire country in tackles. So what's been the key to his big senior season? Former LSU star Jacob Hester sat down in the film room with Damone to find out.
All right, welcome back into the LSU Film Room, Tiger fans, brought to you by Community Coffee. This week, we're going to have senior linebacker, fellow member of the 1A Club, Damone Clark, with us to go through some plays from the past and some from this year. You ready to get into it?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, let's go ahead and go. I said from the past, we're going to start off. The first one's going to be from 2019, wearing a different number, but we put this one in there because this is something you've done a lot, and you did it a lot in this season as well, rushing against offensive guards. And so you know you're blitzing. Talk through the mindset of rushing a guard opposed to maybe like rushing against a tight end or a running back.
Well, the biggest thing, you got to make the offensive lineman move their feet. Like if you can make them move their feet, I mean, you got a 50-50 chance to win. So on this play, all I remember, we wanted them to get the 5-0 protection, and that's what we did. See, Jacoby was up. So we got him to get the 5-0 protection, and then 2019, we used to run a lot of stunts, and we used to run different things and stuff. So on this one, like I said, we got him to do the 5-0, and I mean, I just make the guard move his feet. He thought Marcel and I was, running a type of stunt or something. So he overset, so I just went inside, and see, he wasn't even looking at me. So I just, he didn't have no power anyway, so I just went inside, and it was a big time play.
Is it more of a deal where when you're going against guard, you try to say, hey, I got to be more physical. It's not a running back. It's not a tight end. So they're not expecting me to use my hands and bull rush them like this. So it's almost an advantage to try to go a physical way with an offensive guard because he's probably not expecting it either.
No, that's right. See, they, me playing a stack backer position, when linebackers rushing, they more so think that you're going to just try to bull or something. So
right.
I knew I had to use my hands.
Nice play there. That was a fun game, as you mentioned. Big win for the Tigers in that year. Let's fast forward to this year. Right there playing a stack linebacker. You got the jersey 1-8 on. And this is a play we were talking about before we started. This is a formation that you recognized and knew that this was something they were going to try to get to.
Yeah, that's right. One of the biggest things Coach Baker does a lot with the linebackers is just, remembering and understanding formations. It's certain things that they do in each formation. So on this one, I knew they motioned to the formation that
right.
they wanted. And I know one play Auburn ran a lot was duo, and Tank Bigsby liked to cut it off the tight end. So that's why you can see on this play, I came up to about 3 yards, and then that's my gap, the D gap. So I just used my hands, got off the block, and made the TFL.
I love you going through because you see as soon as you go in motion, you're like, oh man, I know exactly where this ball is going. Let me cheat up a little bit, and then a really nice job with your hands. I can just tell you, blocking linebackers like this off the edge, the last thing I want you to do is be able to extend your arms like that, get off the block, shuck me, and get to the running back here. Nice open field tackle as well. All right, this was maybe the most impressive one for me in the clips that we have because obviously you've got this running back in man coverage, and there's so many things that he can do from this position. Obviously, he can run the wheel. He can just be a decoy, but I can tell that when you're going out there with him, you've got your head on a swivel. You're trying to say, okay, where are these receivers at? Is he going to try to crack me? Are they going to try to throw a screen to him right now? Let me go ahead and get my best position to be able to make a play. And then all of that to get to the open field tackle portion of it because you still have to make a play in space. So kind of walk us through what you're thinking when you see him go in motion and you're trying to make sure, because you have him in man coverage, that you get in the best possible position to be able to make a play.
Yeah, so on this play, like you said, I got him man-to-man between Mike and I. So
right.
once he came to my side, I know that's my man. So like you said, I kept my head on the swivel. I had to make sure I ain't cross the ball and be off sides, and I had to make sure that the wide receiver wasn't cracking me and they throwing like a flare screen to him. So, once I kept my head on the swivel, I just pushed through with him, and then half the battle was over and the rest of it was just making the open field tackle.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's not even a part that I really even think about. Yeah, you got to make sure you're still behind the ball, but you want to get yourself in the best leverage as possible as well. So there's just so many different moving parts. And then, of course, like we mentioned, I think you'll see a better appreciation of what you do in the open field here because you're right. Half the battle is getting out here, making sure that the receiver doesn't crack you, staying on sides. But you got to tackle a guy that's a skill player in space as well.
Yeah, and number 5 was actually he played receiver as well too.
Right.
So I knew I had to leverage. That's one of the biggest things that Coach Baker go over with the linebackers, open field tackling. So I knew I had to use the sideline as my friend as well.
Nice job there. One of my favorite plays here in the package, as I mentioned. But, of course, it's always a good day to make a play against the Florida Gators. This is a play that ended the game. This was the closer defensive-wise, right? You give the ball back to the offense, able to run the clock out. But kind of walk us through this entire play because, as you can see here, and you'll get a better shot of it in the end zone copy, Jaquelin is in a technique, right? He's over the guard, and then he goes to a 3 technique, and you're like, no, you got to get back. You got to get back to your gap that you were in. So what were you seeing right here from Jaquelin?
So on this one, he was supposed to be in the shade. So
right.
Then he slid to a 3. So I was like, no. I'm like, slide back. I'm like, essentially I had to play off him anyways, but I was just, I like to make sure the D-line in the right spot. So we all play off of each other, though.
And then you've got this tight end here in man coverage, this slot. And by the way, I'm glad you did move Jaquelin because he gets a rush.
Yeah.
And forces a quick pass. And look, it allows you kind of check right here to make sure that Richardson's not running because he's such a dynamic runner. And it gives you time to be able to check that and still recover here, knowing that you had the closing speed to be able to go make a play on the ball.
I saw him, I felt him, just turn up the field.
Right.
And I know that was a beater that they was going to try to do. So they ran this exact play early in the game. We was in a different coverage. But I knew, I had to take him up because once he come under, the safety fall off. So I had to, like I said, I pushed up with him, and then as I was running, at the last, I was like, in my head, I'm like, what's taking them so long to throw the ball? So I'm still running. And then, I just caught up with the man. And as soon as I looked back for the ball fell right in my hands. It was a big-time play against the Florida Gators.
Like we said, look, you're in the shade here. Move out to a 3. No. Great communication. Get back over there. We need you.
Oh yeah, I told him I appreciate him for this play too, because I didn't realize until we went back and watched it on film that he he split 2 people and got back there, and then we had BJ on the outside as well that put pressure on the quarterback and just made him throw an ill-advised throw. On one thing I always tell the guys, just one day at a time. On one thing that Coach Baker harp on a lot, he tell me that a lot, and tell the linebackers just be where your feet are and just control what you can control. So that's one thing that I always do, just be where my feet are, control what I can control, and the rest will take care of itself.
Tiger fans, stick around, because coming up after the break, we get you caught up on all of the action from the Tigers versus the Tide in Tuscaloosa.
You need more layers, diagonal layers.
I got it, Ron. Thanks. Leave him alone, Dad. Oh, honey, you should use ice blocks instead of cubes.
No, Bud Light Seltzer goes on top.
Diagonal layers.
Did you pre-chill the Bud Light lemonades?
Need more ice.
And diagonal layers.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I don't need my hands getting cold.
Why don't you try using the Plumsky method?
Brings out the citrus notes.
Dad?
Gotta crush the ice, son.
Okay, I'm out.
What's his problem?
Whenever packing the cooler really, really matters, there's a Bud Light there.
We get it. It feels like everything has changed. Masking up, changing demands at work, fewer gatherings. But one thing hasn't changed: our commitment to your health. It's why Our Lady of the Lake Physician Group keeps finding better ways to serve you. Video visits with one of our providers, online scheduling, weekend hours, and nearly 100 locations where providers know your medical history. Our Lady of the Lake Physician Group, providing you with the best care where and when you need it.
Let's have some fun. The time is right, the party's just begun. Have a good time strong.
On game day, Tiger fans know how to bring it. And with best available horsepower in its class and payload, plus with the power of a mobile generator, you can take it all with you. Ford Trucks. Let the good times roll. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 1,000 retail custom order bonus cash on F-150 at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
As humankind faces its most critical challenges yet, the world demands leaders, and LSU is taking up the charge. The research we do here goes everywhere to protect communities threatened by climate change, so you can live your life with fewer worries about tomorrow. We're formulating a better way for everyone, because at LSU, our calling is humanity.
LSU Tigers fans, show your pride with real Tigers gear from the official online store, LSUshop.net. You'll find everything a Tigers fan needs, including jerseys, sideline gear, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more. With an awesome selection of over 4,100 products, including official team merchandise from Nike, when it comes to Tigers pride, there's only one place real Tigers fans go: LSUshop.net.
This segment of Inside LSU Football is brought to you each week by LSUshop.net. For the latest in sideline apparel, gifts, and all things LSU Tigers, go to LSUshop.net.
It's back to the gridiron and back to football this week after the annual bye. A matchup that in many years past drew the focus of college football. A few years in recent history, it was the game at the center of the sports universe. Not quite that luster coming in this evening, but nonetheless, a rivalry that endures and will endure for many years to come. Continuity has eluded the Tigers all season long. The string of injuries that this team has suffered is almost incomprehensible. But still, a group of men in purple and gold made their way here to T-Town to fight. And while they may be major underdogs on paper, we still play the games. A lot of motion pre-snap. Young, though, stands in the pocket, has time, pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it falls harmlessly to the grass around the 30-yard line. Hash mark near side, low snap. Bad handle, the kick is a knuckleball, and it hits the crossbar, no good. Boy, that one started off disastrous, low snap. Atkins waiting on the snap. He'll get it, and they're going to try to fake it. He'll throw it, and catch made at the 45-yard line of Alabama. It's going to be Jack Mashburn inside the 35, the 30, all the way down near the Alabama 25-yard line. The jump pass from Avery Atkins, who faked the punt. Johnson trying to drop it off into the flat, does to Brian Thomas near side. He will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Tigers. And Brian Thomas Jr. with his first touchdown on the season, first career touchdown for the freshman wideout. Young with pressure coming, he'll go down at midfield. Tigers bring the blitz. Mike Jones Jr. gets to him and gets home. A loss of 12. 3rd and 2 for Alabama. They are 2 for 5 on third down conversions to start this game. They've got Slade Bolden taking the direct snap, and he'll be dropped. Tried to get to the near side in the 40-yard line, and LSU's Damone Clark able to find him quickly. It'll be 4th down and about a yard. LSU again going to line up to go for it on 4th down. Ty Davis Price will check back in, the junior running back. Here's the snap. Ty Davis Price puts his head down, gets met, and trying to get to the 45. They're going to give him forward progress, and he will pick up the first down. Johnson rolling out to his left. The left-hander now will tuck and run up the far sideline and step out of bounds into Tide territory. 4th and a yard once again. They converted a few moments ago. Tigers will have to do it here with 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Handoff Ty Davis Price, and he will squirt through inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. You've made this type of investment in time. You got to come away with points. Here's Johnson again. Time in the pocket. Slings far side. Has a man wide open at the 27-yard line. Trey Palmer high-stepping at the 20, and then met right around the 12-yard line and pile drive down to the 9 of Alabama. A 35-yard pitch and catch. Looking left, drops it off underneath. Besh has it at the 5. Besh squirts through 2 defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Tigers. 8-yard touchdown pass. A good 5 of that earned after the catch for Jack Besh. Young on 3rd and 3, steps up in the pocket and going to be tripped up and dropped. He'll be short of the first down. He's down around the 37-yard line. 4 down linemen. They send 4. Johnson has time, throws, catch made by Besh. Besh up across the 40 to the 45-yard line. He'll pick up the first down. There's 10 on the play clock. LSU's got to hurry. They got to get half a yard. Nearly everybody in the box for Alabama. Ty Davis Price has the first down and then some. Ty Davis Price near side 30, 20, 15, 10. Pulled down from behind and around the 7-yard line. On the bootleg coming near side, LSU's there, and Young will just fall to the ground at the 36-yard line. Johnson looking, still looking, still looking, delivers. Catch made by Thomas in midfield. Breaks 1 tackle, gets out of bounds at the Alabama 45-yard line. Johnson with the snap. Johnson throws to the sideline. Catch made. Jeray Jenkins out of bounds at the 30. Nick Saban almost makes the tackle. He's so upset. So with 5 seconds, this is it. Johnson's got to get it to the end zone. Flag is out. Throws it to the end zone, and it is broken up. Alabama survives here in Tuscaloosa, but not without a group of Fighting Tigers bringing the heat from Baton Rouge.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better, that's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like...
It's looking kind of chilly out today. What am I gonna wear? I think I'll go with a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with a top-rated app that lets you deposit checks and transfer money anytime, anywhere, is it really even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we
As humankind faces its most critical challenges yet, the world demands leaders, and LSU is taking up the charge. The research we do here goes everywhere to protect communities threatened by climate change, so you can live your life with fewer worries about tomorrow. We're formulating a better way for everyone, because at LSU, our calling is humanity.
When you support, she soars. When you donate, he delivers. When you provide, they prevail. Since 1987, TAF members have lifted the minds, bodies, and spirits of LSU student athletes, making sure they have what they need to succeed in competition, the classroom, and in life. When you give, they go.
This segment of Inside LSU Football brought to you each week by Community Coffee, the official coffee of LSU athletics.
I want to compliment our team for how hard they played. I truly thought we were a better team tonight. We just came up a couple plays short. Wish we would have had a better plan on offense, especially in the second half. We had opportunities to score. We didn't. I got to take that responsibility. I just wish that we could have put our guys in better position to win. I wish we had a better plan. We was in position to win this football game, but we didn't. We stalled. We stalled on the 8-yard line. Then we get a sack fumble, and we gained 1 yard. I mean, we can't do that. We got to put our guys in better position. I don't like that statement, not to lose, because there's a game to lose, and that's important to us, you know what I mean? But we felt that we had to blitz. We felt that we had to be more diverse on defense, and we worked our tails off last week. And I got to give Coach Call credit. He's an analyst for us. He came up with those third down blitzes. There were a couple of third down blitzes. The one that we had the sack fumble, he recommended to it. We put it in. I got to give the compliment to the defense. We had an adjustment period. I thought our defensive guys really got better during open day. Those guys played their hearts out. We lost Mason. We lost a lot of guys. Dwight's making plays out there. Cam's making plays. We came into the stadium. We were going to win the game. These guys were not intimidated. They wanted to win the football game. We just fell a little short. We're not going to let this crowd intimidate us. It wasn't going to happen. We were coming in this house to win the game, and so was I. So I was having fun with it. Part of college football. This is going to lead into the last 3 games. We got to play the last 3 games with the same fire, the same intensity, same fire we had on defense, and get better on offense. And I told them the next week in Arkansas, we got to get ready. We got to get ready and play well.
That's it for this week's show, but we'll be back here in Baton Rouge next week for a 6 p.m. kickoff with the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm Emily Dixon, and as always, thanks for tuning in to Inside LSU Football presented by Community Coffee. We'll see you next week.